You know about the bells, right? No? Which bells? Witches' bells? So you put them on your doors. And then when your doors open, they keep out
The witches?
evil spirits. And witches used to have bells on their doors for that purpose because they thought that that's what would protect them. So when they went off, if there was like nobody, maybe it was just the wind grabbing it or something, then they would like do something to protect themselves. I'm Karen Weakley. I write under KK Weakley. I'm from Wexford, Ireland, but I live in Cashmere with my husband and the crazy household of kids and dogs. Jessica is Jess in Sakat.
Jessica from,
Jessica Tritt.
But you killed her, right?
Oh, wonderfully killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have I been stayed alive?
I told you I haven't decided.
Oh, okay.
I can't promise anything, Terry. You might not die, but weeds might not make it.
Oh, okay. Well,
The penny floor
we'll stay.
will stay.
Yes. So how did you write that in there?
Because I remember a conversation that we had about how much it was on the floor.
Okay.
And I had Joe and Victor come here, and Joe was trying to count it
He was trying to count
in
pennies.
the story.
Uh-huh.
And Victor, the two of them had fallen out because he found out that he had like slept with Molly. So Victor thought he was doing him a favor by telling him how much was on the floor. And then you come over with their coffee. I like the noise and I like the distraction because it's strangely enough, it's easier to switch off when it's not quiet. When it's really dead quiet, it's so hard to concentrate. So I do like listening to people going back and forth, and I like the noise. I used to write all the time, kind of like on and off, and then when I couldn't work, I literally had so much time on my hands, and that's what I did when I wrote, and then turned into the first book, and then it came the second, and then came the third book, and it turned into a trilogy. Yeah, about 14 years ago. But I wrote plays for stage before that, and it kind of went from there. And my first book, Daughter of Rella, started as a play, and then it ended up continuing. Eternity right now is number 13. I wanted it to be a saga so that I wasn't going to be cut off after 3 in case I wanted to do extra, because I always want to do like a character offsets. This is the last one in this part of the saga, and then the next one, the 4th one, is a character offset, and then it's going to continue on character offsets. You write this in. Why did you put the key on it? That could be really interesting, actually. Key's something. Let me take a picture of it before we go home so that I can remember it. That could be interesting if it's like, maybe it's like the key into something. Obviously it's a key into something. I wonder if your powers are in this then. Some way. Generally I have people asking to be in it because it's fun, and usually it's like a friend or something. I'm like, and then the next one. So I do try to put in as many as possible. My cousin Vicky wanted to be in a book, and I put her in Lord of Xantar, which is the last one of the trilogy. And it was funny because it suited her personality. I'm not saying that she is her character, but I just she just cracks me up all the time. She's such a funny person. So I made her a prostitute. It was like, think of it like back in the old days when like nobody washes themselves and stuff. It's kind of like, let's just hope she's clean. But yeah, that's what I made her, and I told her, and she was like, oh my God, she's like, I love it. Yeah, she's just that personality. So yeah, that was definitely one of my funniest ones. I do. I do. It's hard not to, and I do kind of giggle, and sometimes I like make little stories out of, you know, people's funny little discussions, and I just write them and then I put them to one side, like, but it's fun, and I go home and read over it and I kind of giggle to myself. Because if I hear something and I kind of losing my concentration and it draws me to it, so then I'll just write a little thing and, you know, and kind of add loads of stuff into it and kind of make it like this short little story of something like silly that somebody was talking about. We were sitting down and they were just enjoying their coffee, and it was the first time I had seen a female sheriff. Well, I see her all the time, but you know, just her, and there was four male sheriffs there, and they were just yapping away, you know, and I was getting sidetracked, and they were talking about the new stickers on their cars or additional stickers, and I was like, I just don't like him. I don't like him. I just don't like him. And I was just like, oh my God, this is fantastic. So I start writing, and by the end of it, just that line, I ended up having like this, the police officer opposite the Vanguardia, the sheriff, the female sheriff, you know, they were having an affair and they were doing this and the other guys knew about it. And then my main character, Molly, decided, well, she better not be around my Joe. And I just went with it. So it was quite funny. Yeah. It's actually in eternity. But it's not like, you know, I took their whole conversation. It was just that one line that made me giggle, to think that with everything going on in the world and all the crap that they put up with, that they can still find the humor in something and still be able to go do their jobs. And I loved them for it. So it just made me giggle, so I used it. Paul Boudreau is the chief of police in Twisp. And when I was trying to find out where I wanted to write, I knew I was going to put Cashmere into the book, but I wanted a small all-American town that wasn't Cashmere. Because there was only going to be so much that I was going to be able to write about it, where people are going to be like, oh, that's, you know, by my house or whatever. So I didn't want to do that. But and I went, believe it or not, I pulled out a map of Washington and I went through it, and Twisp grabbed my attention because it reminded me of a chocolate bar. Chocolate bar, Twisp, like a Twix and a Whisper. Every time I said Twisp, I was like, God, I love a chocolate bar. And that's why I went with it. I'm excited to share what happens when Saket and Hellbound come together, because it literally is the end of this part of the story. So it's just like a trilogy in aspects where you have to tie everything in and hope for the best. And I think it definitely does that. And I definitely think that there's stuff that is going to be, I don't know, I definitely think that people are going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Or, you know, I didn't see that coming. There's definitely a lot of twists and turns in it. There is. I think, strangely enough, I think people are really going to enjoy Lilith. A lot. She made me giggle once or twice. I know, like, sometimes I'm writing these characters and I'm like, why should I really shouldn't be enjoying these characters so much, you know, because of who they are technically. And then I kind of, you know, I laugh it off. I'm like, whatever. But yeah, I think everyone's going to enjoy her quite a lot. Yeah. And I hope people still enjoy Joe, because Joe's my favorite out of all my characters in this series. I like his personality. I think he's a smart ass for the most part. And I think he's very loving, but he's been through so much. But yeah, I like his personality. And in my head, I know what he looks like. And he's very hot. He's a detective, but he's a seer. And his partner's Victor, and he's a necromancer. They're so good at their job because Victor is able to, like, talk to the ghost straight away. He's like, who killed you? And for the most part, that's how they do so well. But when Saket comes on the scene, they can't do anything because anytime she's around Molly, everything is blocked. It's like a haze comes down, so they don't know what's going on. So that's where it gets interesting. And she is an interesting character. I love her though. She's definitely she's a demon. There's nothing nice about her, you know. But she has human tendencies as well. And I think that's why people like her, is because they don't want to like her, but she does have a human tendency, and it's weird. I didn't want to have a friend play the character of Scarlet because there was no way to depict like any of my friends into her. And she was like, I just wanted like free reign with her. But when I needed a wife for my other main character, the chief of police, I picked Jessica. She's actually a huge character in Scarlet, which is the first one. She is literally my only human that I did with all my friends.
Now, Scarlet's red eyes began to glow. Breathing a low growl of disgust, she walked calmly back into the kitchen, opened a drawer, grabbed the biggest knife she could get her hands on, and without hesitation, walked back to where Jess lay, stabbing it mercilessly into Jess's neck.
She was like, she put me into it, then she killed me. Yeah, so. But it was spectacular how she died. It really was. So, and I'm really happy with it. And I think she gets a giggle out of it.
I am Jessica Tritt, and I was actually quite honored to be murdered in the way that I was. I found it very entertaining. Hopefully never in real life.
I like picking my friends because I like to see their reactions to what happens to their characters. Generally, it's not good. They never end up well, which is funny for me because when they find out what happens, then it's like, what? But it's fun.
"Hello, detective," she said quietly, untroubled by his presence as she stood over the body of a man whose life she had just ended.
Michelle is actually my vamp in Hellbound.
Give me the mask. Give me the mask.
But you know that you have to have the part with the hair because then it makes sense.
Her chiseled jaw tilted just enough to show herself proud but not arrogant. The molten red hair tumbled down her back with the slightest of head shakes. My name is Michelle, and I am Michelle, the Scarlet Killer, in Hellbound Saga Book 2. And I haven't died, because I can't be dead, because I'm a vampire.
I don't know how I'm going to kill you off. It's going to be hard. I might not. Bree is my black witch who is literally, the wisps. Do you ever hear of wisps? Wisps are generally in like Scottish folklore, whereas they're supposed to be all like sweet, but they're horrible. They can lead you off a cliff. That's what they do. They're like, follow me. They're like, and then you're gone. So right now they're actually after locking their eyes on Victor, I'm gonna say, and he's gonna have, and Molly are gonna have a big kind of battle with Bree to stop her. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'd like to see her win, actually. Yeah, I know. I might bring some druid kind of stuff into this one. I think that might be good, especially with the wisp side. 17th century is my favorite time in history, but castles and wars and, you know, warriors. As far as the whole like witch aspect, yeah, I still go back to like the druids and all that kind of like surroundings of all, you know, the kind of that time. It's literally a book about druids, and inside the box it has all the druid stones, like literally all of them, and then it gives you the book and stuff and what all of them mean and everything. Is really cool. It's going to be a battle for sure between the fairy world and our world, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to get dark real fast.
My name is Bree Hinkle, and I am the character Bree in an upcoming book that is yet to be named. And I am a black witch of the wisps. And that's all I know. You'll have to read the books to find out.